So, yeah, as you can see, it's a trio again today, and today it's very sunny. Well, very sunny, it's pushing it, it's still brisk. Sun's up there, so we're going for Tiare I flower. Now, Tiare I flower and frangipani are quite often things I get kind of mixed up a little bit. To me, the difference is a Tiare I flower slightly sweeter. Still creamy, but this is, to me personally, I couldn't tell you, the actual science of it. And a frangipani is perhaps a little bit more like a gardenia. It's got kind of a thicker feel about it. But both of them, well, we're talking about Tiare, so it's used in kind of tropical like fragrances, sometimes suntan kind of fragrances, them kind of beachy ones. But it's generally just a very happy, lovely flower. I'd say Tiare I may even have a little bit, not like a lily spice, but perhaps a bit of spice about it as well. So anyway, let's get cracking on. First up, now this doesn't have listed notes and it never will, but I think it's possible it may exist in this indie fragrance, and that's One Way Bridge's Pitching Woo. Now there is a kind of floral feel in it, and it does have that kind of sweet, not as far as beachy, but some sort of tropical touch with the fruits in there. And I think, to me, it's in there now. It starts off like I've spoke about many times, like kind of humbuggy, like a minty toffee sweet with ice cream, and like a nice, not overly sweet ice cream, and a little bit of the kind of boozy fruitiness in it, and the floral thing kind of mixing what could be creating it as well, to be fair. Some of that ice creamy touch is the Tiare I. Kind of smells, I don't know if the flowers are white actually, but it does have that kind of white, thicker lactonic, but not lactonic. Like ice cream isn't particularly, doesn't smell lactonic, does it? It's probably because of the sugar and the way it's made. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I think Tiare I is very much a possibility in this, giving it sunshininess, giving its kind of brightness and that kind of texture it has. I mean, the fragrance itself is very lovely indeed, and I don't think anyone will ever confirm or deny that it's in there. So for the sake of it, it makes me think of Tiare I, and I could understand that there's Tiare I in it. So that's Pitching Woo from Next we have Love the Way You Feel from Kilian for the niche. Now this one, it's kind of discontinued now. I think it's part of the Miami Vice range, which had Love the Way You Taste in it. And also, potentially, I think Moonlight in Heaven, Au Croisière or whatever it's called, was also part of it, or maybe not, just released at the same time. Anyway, that's by the by. So this one is your kind of beachy suntan one. There's a lot of kind of sweet fruitiness in it. Don't think it has pineapple, but it has kind of fresh tropical fruits running through it. But it's this rich, white, beachy floral one. I do think there's frangipani in this one as well, which is what I mean, how it gets kind of confusing, because where you see one, you see the other. It's not that heavy actually. It's not an over-the-top kind of sticky, heavy one, and the florals kind of sit through it quite lovely. And yeah, anyway, that boozy note kind of helps break it up, and that is very comforting. A little bit of greenness, actually quite fresh. The fruits really help it. It's just it's probably one of my favourite, if not my favourite, purely kind of beachy fragrances. So yeah, that's Love the Way You Feel from Kilian. Finally, from Guerlain is Terracotta. We all know this. In fact, it's fairly similar to Love the Way You Feel, except it's not quite as full. It's not quite as together or kind of smooth finish fragrance. Don't get me wrong, terracotta is absolutely lovely. There's a bit more kind of a spicy touch in this one, and the woods are much stronger. So it's not exactly the same. This is like a tropical beachy woods with the suntan lotion and the kind of fruitiness there. It's very easy to wear. It's also one of the more affordable Guerlains, but it's done with that Guerlain feel. You do get a much more vanilla in this, but again, it's not overly creamy or thick kind of suntanny. It's more of a pleasant kind of one. It's very enjoyable actually. I'd say one of my favourites from Guerlain, and the Tiare I, obviously, which is what we're talking about, is fairly prominent. And I think this is definitely more Tiare I than the frangipani, because it's not as thick. It's kind of a lighter tropical flower smell. So yeah, don't need to waffle on about this. I think we know what terracotta is. Right folks, that's terracotta. So yeah, that was just, that's very out of focus and weird, isn't it? It was just a short little list about Tiare I forward fragrances. Some of my favourites there. And again, I'm not an expert to know whether I'm smelling Tiare I or frangipani, although I have smelt some with just one or the other in. But again, you always kind of presume it's the other one, and whether the other one's in there or not. I suppose what I'm saying is, can you kind of tell them apart? To me, like I say, frangipani is a much kind of thicker floral one, and the Tiare I is a little fresher, maybe sweeter, to me anyway. Less kind of a creamy white, more of a tropically sweety floral type thing. Anyway, what's your favourite with Tiare I in? Do you love these beachy fragrances? Are you pulling them out now that the temperature's about 4 or 5 degrees? Right folks, thanks, bye.